Hello there, this is David from David Books and Comics. So today I'm going to talk about one of the most successful of all mystery series um, ever published, actually, is the Shel Scott series by Richard Scott Prather. Now, in a book called the 70 Years of Bestsellers that came out by Publishers Weekly, there's a chapter on the 150 mystery novels that were ever written. And 16 of those mystery novels featured this guy, Sheldon Scott, a Hollywood detective. Um, and they were among the 150 best-selling mystery novels ever written. So if you went by sales, uh, this was the most successful series. So I'm going to go through what I have in terms of the Shel Scott series. Um, Now, Shel Scott was as I said, a Hollywood detective. He was described as being 6'2". He was in the novels, an ex-Marine. He was mainly situated in Los Angeles in the Hollywood area, and a lot of his crime fiction featured wanton women and femme fatales. Um, he's described as having white blondish hair with white eyebrows, as you see in some of the pictures, and you'll see as I go through some of the books. I have most of them. Most of them are from the 1960s, and I'll show some of them are paperback originals, many of them are not, and I'll show you what I have. So the first book in the series is this book, all for 25 cents. This is a second printing. This is the case of the Vanishing Beauty. And this is another cover, a later printing. And by then it says, the blurb says over 25 million Shel Scott adventures sold. So yeah, it says copyright 1950. Described as an original gold medal book, but it's a later printing. So that's that one. This is the second book in the series, Bodies in Bedlam, gold medal, gold, gold medal number 819. And the third book in the series, Everybody Had a Gun. And I have the fourth book, a rough copy of Find This Woman. It's a third printing. Nice cover. And I don't have the fifth book, which is called A Dagger of Flesh. But I do have the sixth book. This one is published in 1958, gold medal. And it's Darling, It's Death. And that one is a nice cover. There he has his fedora. This is another edition, different cover. This is Darling, It's Death. And then Here's a third cover. This is by Star Publications, which is, I always thought it was an Australian publisher. It's a British publisher. So there you see, Darling, It's Death. The next one is called Way of the Wanton. And they're the trademark Good Girl Art cover with his white hair. Let's see, copyright 1952. The next one is Always Leave 'Em Dying. And unfortunately, this cover is damaged, as you can see there. Whoever sold this book decided to mark up the cover, unfortunately. Um, described as an original gold medal novel. Copyright 1954. By Fawcett. Always Leave 'Em Dying. And also published in 1952 under a different title called Pattern for Murder was this book, The Scrambled Eggs. And this is a Robert McGinnis cover. It's a good copy, reading copy. So that's The Scrambled Eggs. And that was originally published in 1952. But this edition was published by Gold Medal in 1958. He wrote this novel under a pseudonym, David Knight. So that's Scrambled Eggs. And here is another David McGinnis or Robert McGinnis cover. Always Leave 'Em Dying. And this is a unique cover. This one's called Pattern for Panic. And let's have a look inside here. Yeah, the reason why it's copyright 1961 is because, as it says there, it was revised by the author. So you could call it a paperback original. That's Pattern for Panic. The next one is Over My Dead Body, which I don't have. That one came out back in 1954. The next one is Ride a High Horse, and this one is more than likely a first edition paperback original. The next one is Too Many Crooks. And the next one is Strip for Murder. And this is No, that's a notorious one. This is copyright 1955. Gold medal number 508. And this is another edition of the same book, Strip for Murder. The next one is Wailing Frail, and this is a fine copy. And we'll move those off to the side. The next one is called Have Gat Will Travel, and this is an anthology book with 6 Shell Scott short stories. Have Gat Will Travel. The 14th book in the series I don't have. It's called The Deadly Darling. This is the 16th book in the series. 3 is a shroud, and again, it's an anthology collection of 3 stories. And this is Slap Happy. The 17th book in the series, second printing. The next book is Take a Murder, Darling. This one is a first. And the next one is a Double in Trouble, and this features 2 of the famous gold medal detectives. One is Chester Drum, written by Stephen Marlowe, who created that character, and the other one, of course, Shell Scott. So this is Double in Trouble, and this is a crossover between these 2 top-selling detective series from the gold medal publisher. The next one I have is called Dance with the Dead. Uh, Dance with the Dead is a paperback original, first edition. First printing 1960, copyright 1960. The next one is Dig That Crazy Grave. And I'll just show you the copies I have just to show the change in the popularity of the series. It is signed, but I don't recognize the artist. Let's see. Yeah, this is the first print, paperback original. Here's a later edition, clear cover. This one is 40 cents. And this is a second printing. And here's another one. This is a McGinnis cover. Dig That Crazy Grave. I'll move those aside. The next one is a rough copy. It's Shel Scott's Seven Slaughters. And this is a first. Spinal wear on the cover. And this is a McGinnis cover signed by the artist. See there. And the next one is Kill the Clown with a very different kind of cover. And this one, the artist is M. Hooks. It's not one of the better covers. So Kill the Clown. And Kill the Clown is a 10th, is a first edition. This is number 23 in the series. Number 24 I do not have. Number 25 is this one, The Cockeyed Corpse. And this is a first edition paperback original, 1964 publication date. And the next one is another Robert McGinnis cover, The Cockeyed Corpse. The next one is a second printing. This one, Richard Prather was eventually lured away from Fawcett and picked up by pocketbooks. And this is a pocketbook edition of Dead Heat. This is a second printing. You see there. And this is another pocketbook edition. And Richard Prather hated these photo covers. He thought that it made Shel Scott look like a character from a John D. MacDonald novel, Travis McGee. And he hated the photo covers. Eventually, he got into a dispute with the publisher, with Pocketbooks, over royalties. Anyway, so that's one of the photo covers. This one's called Dead Heat. And this is a second printing, published in 1963. It's got the remainder hole there. 13th printing, Dead Heat. Yeah, you can judge which is the better cover. The next one is called the Trojan Hearse. Another nice cover, initialed by the artist. I don't know who it is. So that's the Trojan Hearse. That's the second printing from 1964. The next one is called Dead Man's Walk. And here's another pocketbook edition with a photo cover. It's called Kill Him Twice, and that's a 10th printing. And again, like I said, Prather hated those photo covers. And here's another one. This is The Meandering Corpse. This is an 8th printing. And this is the Kubla Khan caper. This is a first printing. There was a Trident Press edition, probably hardcover, I don't know, that was published in 1966. This is the first pocketbook edition. The next one is called Gat Heat. That's that one. Pocketbook edition. And this is a second printing. You see there. The next one is called the Cheam Manuscript. It's a second printing. And this one is called Kill Me Tomorrow. And this is the last one I have of the Shel Scott series. This one is from 1969, and it's the Shel Scott sampler. This one is an anthology. So there you go. So Richard Scott Prather, was born in 1921, died in 2007. In total, uh, he wrote 40 Shel Scott, or published 40 Shel Scott books and anthologies. I'm missing about 9 of them. I'm missing 9 of them exactly. So he was described as a very soft-spoken man, was married to the same person for 58 years. He himself served in the Merchant Marines. Um, so obviously he identified a little bit with the character of Shel Scott. Richard Prather eventually won a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Private Eye Writers of America. So well deserved for someone who became rich actually from selling and writing all his novels. I'll show you 2 more of his books. He wrote a few books outside of the Shel Scott series. I have 2 of them. This is one of them. This was published by Crest Publications. And this one's called Lie Me Down Killer. And it's Crest book number 255. Just look inside here. See. This one was published in, it's the second printing from 1958, but copyright is originally from 1952. So this is Lie Me Down Killer. The other one I have is kind of a strange cover. Cover art is by a guy named Henry Bennett, and this is called The Peddler. We'll look inside and see. This is a fine copy of that book. Its copyright is 1952, so it says, but it's not a first edition. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this little foray into the collection I have of Shel Scott. And if you did give me a like, continue to subscribe, and I thank you all for subscribing. And thanks for supporting the channels. And if you have any comments, please feel free to comment. I love to hear from you. Okay, thanks.